Hello and welcome to Spectrum TV News at 4. I am Francis Oyima Edet, coming to you live from Uyo, the capital city of Akwa Ibom State. Let's take a look at the headlines. Reps begin debate on 2024 appropriation bill. Federal government reassures of safe drinking water for Nigerians. Plus, Israel President Isaac Herzog to discuss hostages on COP28 sidelines. We will bring you details of these stories and more in a moment. Many thanks for joining us. We begin the news with a report from the Green Chambers, where the House of Representatives today passed the 27.5 trillion naira 2024 budget for second reading. Leading the debate on the general principles of the budget, House Leader Julius Ihonvbere commended President Bola Tinubu, noting that national security and education, which got significant allocations, will be enhanced if implemented. Meanwhile, the House of Representatives has invited the Acting Executive Secretary, National University Commission (NUC), Director General and Council of Legal Education over the termination of the law program at the National Open University Commission. Others invited include heads of the Nigeria Law School, the Chairman of the Board of Benchers, and the Vice Chancellor of the NOUN. This followed a resolution at a meeting between the Vice Chancellor of NOUN, Professor Olufemi Peters, and some aggrieved final year law students with the Chairman, House Committee on University Education, Abubakar Fulata, in Abuja. The program was allegedly terminated by National Open University of Nigeria, claiming the University Senate's action was based on the directive of the Council of Legal Education. The chairman therefore urged the Minister of Education and heads of other relevant agencies to work towards eliminating the devastating menace associated with the fall in the standard of education in Nigeria. From the Red Chambers, now where the Senate has called on the Federal Ministry of Education and the National Universities Commission (NUC) to prioritize the issue of accommodation of female students on campus to guard against abduction. The resolution was taken today as part of moves to show solidarity with Nigerian women on this year's 16 days of advocacy for the elimination of violence against women. The lawmakers also urged the Nigeria Police Force to strengthen the prosecution process of perpetrators of gender-based violence to pave the way for the conviction. Additionally, the Senate resolved that the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, undertake a continuous review of the existing policies and laws on gender-based violence to accommodate best practices and strategies. Meanwhile, the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, has identified how to stop insecurity in Nigeria. Akpabio said insecurity will stop when Nigerians support President Bola Tinubu and the efforts of the federal government. He commended the security agencies for their sacrifices in the fight against insecurity in Nigeria. The Senate President said he believes that insecurity can and must be stopped by all Nigerians. To Nigeria's leader, now President Bola Tinubu, who has met with King Charles III on the sidelines of the COP28 Climate Summit in Dubai, the United Arab Emirates. In a post on his X handle, formerly Twitter, the president said he had a productive engagement with a 75-year-old monarch. Reports say Tinubu will deliver the Nigerian government's position on climate action on Friday, as the rest of Africa and developing nations demand better deal in the quest to transition clean energy future. Recall that the president had departed Abuja for Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates, yesterday, shortly after presenting his first ever annual national budgetary proposal to a joint sitting of the National Assembly. Away from that, the federal government has reassured Nigerians that it will provide safe drinking water and effective surveillance to prevent outbreaks of waterborne diseases. A Director of Quality and Control in the Ministry of Water Resources and Sanitation, Olu Daniel, stated these when he led a team of officials on an advocacy visit to the Kano State Ministry of Water Resources today in Kano. Daniel said the visit was to collaborate with the state government to prevent outbreaks of diseases such as cholera caused by contaminated drinking water. He said that the provision of safe drinking water and health services fell within the ambit of the ministry, hence the need to prepare ahead to ensure prevention and management. In a separate development, the Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Gbetokun, has approved the posting of Police Public Relations Officers, PPROs, to various state commands and formations to strengthen community engagement and communication. A statement by the first Public Relations Officer, ACP Olumuyiwa Dejabi, says the newly posted officers and their respective portfolios include SP Ayuba Umar to PPRO Zone 2 Lagos, SP Hawa Adamu to PPRO Nigeria Police Cooperative, DSP Ejire Adeyemi to PPRO Kwara State, ASP Una Echefunachi to PPRO Ebonyi, ASP Rufai Ahmed to PPRO Sokoto, ASP Musa Mohammed to PPRO Bayelsa. Meanwhile, ASP Abuka Pius has also been posted as a staff officer to the Public Complaint Bureau of the Force Public Relations Department, Force Headquarters, Abuja. The Inspector General of Police emphasized on the importance of community collaboration in policing, urging the newly posted officers to work closely with the communities they serve. In another development, the Ondo State House of Assembly and its Speaker has withdrawn its appeal filed before the Court of Appeal Abuja against the ruling of the Federal High Court Abuja, which stopped the planned impeachment of the Ondo State Deputy Governor, Lucky Ayidetiwa. The Ondo State House of Assembly and its Speaker had challenged the jurisdiction of the Federal High Court Abuja to handle the matter and appealed against the court's ruling halting the planned impeachment of the deputy governor. At today's proceedings, counsel for the Speaker and the Assembly, Remi Olatumbora, told the three-member panel of justices of the appellate court that he has the instructions of his client to withdraw the appeal. The senior lawyer told the court that parties in the matter have found a political solution to their problems and have signed an agreement to withdraw the appeal. We move now to Africa, where South Africa has received a consignment of 450 gasoline generators donated by China to alleviate the country's severe power cuts. The generators, which arrived in South Africa yesterday, will be officially received today by Electricity Minister Goshinsho Romokopa. The country's presidency said the generators will be used as backup to alleviate the impact of load shedding in the delivery of services in clinics, schools, and courts. Reports say the donation is part of the technical assistance program that China and South Africa signed during August BRICS Summit in Johannesburg. Still in Africa, government in the Democratic Republic of Congo has expressed regret at the European Union's decision to withdraw its electoral observation mission from the country. DR Congo is set to hold presidential and parliamentary elections on December 20th, with 23 candidates running for president amid a tense political climate. In a statement, the government said it was committed to successfully holding the elections with transparency, inclusiveness, and freedom, as well as welcome all observer missions wishing to work in accordance with the laws and regulations of DR Congo. The EU said it withdrew its election observation team after it failed to obtain the necessary authorization to deploy essential communication equipment such as satellite telephones and internet kits. On the foreign scene, Israeli President Isaac Herzog is due to attend the UN climate talks in the United Arab Emirates today. Herzog will hold talks with diplomats on the release of hostages held by Hamas. His visit comes 7 weeks into Israel-Hamas war and coincides with a day-long extension of the truce that had been due to expire today, amid ongoing attempts to release more hostages. The Israeli presidency said in a statement that at COP28, which will also be attended by Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas, Herzog will hold a series of diplomatic meetings on the importance of releasing the hostages held by Hamas. Still on the foreign scene, former U.S. Secretary of State Henry Kissinger, who played a pivotal and polarizing role in U.S. foreign policy during the Cold War, has reportedly died at the age of 100. He served as America's top diplomat and national security advisor during the Nixon and Ford administration. Despite leaving office in the mid-1970s, he continued to be consulted by generations of leaders for decades. According to reports, the German-born former diplomat died at his home in Connecticut. Still to come in the news, Super Eagles dropped 2 places in latest FIFA rankings. Just stay with us.
One truth not often told is about the transformation that Africa has undergone in recent decades. Africa is shaping its own destiny and should be referred to as the African opportunity. On Spotlight Africa, we paint the African picture the African way, laced with truth, detail, and the color of the African continent. Join Uyai Anyekan every Tuesday and Thursdays at 4:30 p.m. Spotlight Africa, telling the African story.
The Nigerian police, which is the only one allowed by grossly abused. Our governors have to share police powers with the president as stipulated by the constitution. We do not have a federal government police force. We have the Nigerian police force, which shall be administered, organized, and supervised by the Nigerian police.
No, my lord, I want to say something. I want to say something here. Perhaps it might also enlarge the scope of people who should be invited here for examination. My lord, if we cannot find those who literally murdered Abiola, who are those people who could be said to be the beneficiaries of the death of Abiola?
Rogers has linked you with some of the killings he did.
He never did.
He linked you with the attempted murder of Hebrew.
He did not.
My lord, the Matters Council is leading the evidence in our matters.
Is this an adversary proceeding?
It's not, my lord, but we can't be talking about cases which are in court,
Is
my lord.
this an adversary proceeding?
It's not, my lord. These cases are in court, my lord. I'm just reminding your lordship.
My lord, sorry, my lord, I think I'll be in cross-examination.
Legally Speaking, a program that deals with legal issues and questions we face as citizens of this amazing country, Nigeria. Legally Speaking. Join us every
Friday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m.
for Legally Speaking.
Many thanks for staying with us, and now to the concluding part of the news stories. On a business news, the federal government has said that the production of 31 million metric tons of grains in 2024 is going to combat food inflation, create jobs, and reduce poverty. The Minister of State for Agriculture and Food Security, Aliyu Abdullahi, disclosed this in a statement issued by his ministry in Abuja. The minister said the ministry had outlined a series of critical pathways to solve the food security challenges in Nigeria, noting that the pathways were streamlined into short-term, intermediate, and long-term actions. He added that the ministry was targeting over 70,000 hectares for wheat production under the support of the Africa Development Bank and National Agricultural Growth Scheme and Agro Project Scheme project. Still in business, production of natural gas reportedly fell last year despite a 250 billion naira intervention fund provided to 15 companies. According to an industry report from the Energy Institute in partnership with KPMG, Nigeria's natural gas production dropped by 4 billion cubic feet meters between 2021 and 2022. The country's gas production, recorded at 39 billion cubic feet meters as of 2012, was on a steady growth and had grown to 49 billion cubic feet meters as of 2020. Suddenly, it crashed to 45 billion cubic meters in 2021, 40 billion cubic meters last year. According to the report, the development happened despite a 250 billion naira intervention fund by the federal government through the Central Bank of Nigeria, out of which 130 billion naira was doled out to 15 companies for the construction of compressed natural gas conversion centers. We move to health, where the Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Ali Pate, has said that the federal government would strengthen the workforce and reduce brain drain in the health sector. Pate said rehabilitation workforce and services would be strengthened to achieve universal health coverage. The minister, represented by the Director of Regulatory Bodies and Professional Schools Division, Dr. Opipi Opako, said this at a two-day stakeholders meeting in Abuja. He said integrating the World Health Organization Rehabilitation Agenda 2030 would address challenges of brain drain and improve access to rehabilitation services, thereby achieving universal health coverage. Still in health, the United States Agency for International Development has urged victims of gender-based violence to seek help early and not die in silence. The mission director, USAID Nigeria, Melissa Jones, said seeking help early was crucial because such violence thrives on silence, domination, and isolation. Jones gave the advice at a webinar organized by the mission to commemorate the yearly 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. The mission director said the stigma and discrimination that affected survivors of violence was painful, noting that the solution was for communities and other women to embrace them. We move now to sports, where the Super Eagles of Nigeria have dropped by 2 spots in the latest FIFA ranking to place 42nd in the world. In the ranking table on the website of the World Football Governing Body today, the Eagles dropped 16.04 points to rank 1,474.44 points as against 1,490.48 in October. However, the drop did not affect the team's placement on the continent, as it still remained the 6th team on the continent behind Morocco, Senegal, Tunisia, Algeria, and Egypt respectively. Reports say the drop in ranking comes after the Super Eagles were held to a 1-1 draw in their 2 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifying matches against Lesotho on November 16th and Zimbabwe on November 19th. Still in sports, Uganda has qualified for the men's T20 World Cup for the first time with a 9-wicket victory over Rwanda in African qualifying. The win meant the Cricket Cranes, ranked 23rd in the world, clinched 2nd place in the 6-team tournament in Windhoek, Namibia. Uganda will join Namibia at the 20-team finals in the United States and the West Indies next year after the Eagles qualified with a game to spare on Tuesday. On our entertainment news, Olatosho Oshofa, the shepherd in charge of the Celestial Church of Christ International Headquarters in Ketu, has strongly condemned the invitation extended to singers Portable and Pasuma to perform at one of the church branches' praise night. Recall that the Celestial Church of Christ, Land of Goshen in Lagos, had on Wednesday shared a flyer of its praise night featuring Portable, Pasuma, and May Shua. The announcement, however, triggered a wave of reactions from many Nigerians on social media. While some describe it as disheartening, others wondered if the house of God was now a place of entertainment. Reacting to the controversies on his Facebook page, Oshofa said he has spoken to the shepherd in charge of the above parish at length, that he has promised to make amendments to the posters. And that's all we have for you at this time. Do ensure to follow us on social media and subscribe to our YouTube channel, all of which you can find on our website, spectrumtvlive.ng. You've been watching Spectrum TV News at 4. I am Francis Oyima Edit. Many thanks and do enjoy the rest of your day.